Will we finally see a new quarterback starting for the Badgers? We've got the answer.
Welcome to the Bucky Report, your destination for all things Wisconsin Badgers. Authentic takes.
Oh my God.
Game analysis.
Touchdown Badgers! Ring one up!
And discussion from the fan perspective.
Woo-hoo!
Thanks for joining us and on Wisconsin.
Welcome to the Bucky Report. We are your hosts, Rajiv and Justin, back together for a midweek preview episode to talk about the Washington game. Badger football is back. Obviously, our Sunday episode was about basketball, but we are back now on the football field with lots to discuss. Let's talk about it. One quick programming note. For those of you who follow us on an audio platform, my sincere apologies for forgetting to hit the publish button on our Sunday episode, which I discovered today. So if you are a YouTube watcher, you obviously had it up on Sunday. If you are an audio listener and you were looking for our show, and many of you do our audio downloads, thank you so much for that. I apologize. I even retitled the episode, sorry for the late upload, and then the title of the episode, which was our basketball preview. So you're going to see a very short break between that show hitting and this show dropping our midweek 3 Big Things episode. So apologies for that. I left the room while the audio was, some production mistakes.
Apparently we need some quality control on the...
I do, man. I do. Let me tell you. All right, man. We had a bye week. We've had some time to hopefully get excited about Badger football again, which is a tough thing to do right now. I led the show by teasing some new quarterback news. Let's talk about that. Of course, we don't know 100%, but I've had a source reach out to me this morning that a couple sources that said that it looks like Danny O'Neill's probably going to get the start. And maybe Carter Smith will get some reps. That's kind of what we're hearing from a couple different areas. We'll see. It could be Hunter Simmons for all we know. Like, it could all just be misinformation, but it sounds like a quarterback change is imminent. And Justin, it's pretty necessary.
How do you feel about that? Because I've been talking to you and Ryan about it now for a few days, and I think it's asinine to start a quarterback that's been ineffective over Carter. And I get it. You can always make the excuse that Carter isn't ready or whatever. I think here's my perspective on freshman quarterbacks and not being ready. A lot of it has to do with the cohesion of the group that you actually have them practicing with. When you put them with number threes with a patchwork offensive line and a bunch of freshmen who don't know the playbook and they're trying to run plays, it's going to look bad. If he had to have been forced to be the starter, kind of like what Nebraska did with Raiola, well, I get it. Raiola was a higher pedigree quarterback. You can develop these kids in real time. It can be done. But I guess my bigger point on this is the reason why he wasn't ready earlier is because you're not getting him ready earlier. And that kind of is on you. Like, I don't believe that you couldn't have had him be ready earlier in the season. Now, I will say this. They had 2 other quarterbacks that they felt like they had opportunity. I don't really take issue with that. But about the point where you realize that Hunter Simmons wasn't it, you should have started getting him more reps, and you should have started pushing to get him ready. Because neither of the 2 guys that have started prior to him are even remotely useful in this offense. And I think you should have been pushing to get him developed more.
So here's what I would say. Obviously, development is an issue. We haven't really developed quarterbacks. We haven't had to develop a quarterback in a while. So, I hear that. I think there's a couple factors. One, I don't have an issue with not starting Carter Smith. I wanted a new quarterback, which we're getting. Okay, Danny O'Neill, who I was very hard on earlier in the season, and I didn't want him to play anymore, is something different. It can't get any worse. Our offense has literally stalled. We are one of the worst offenses in America. You got to make a change. I also think there's an element that we are, as fans, who knows how ready Carter Smith was in the sense of what is his effort level? How connected was he? How determined was he in practice? Like, how much was he putting into it? So we don't know that side of it. And I'm not saying I know anything about that. I feel like it's easy for us to look out on the outside and say, well, they be preparing him, but he also might be checked out. So given how this season has gone, I don't know. But I will say, and we mentioned that we wanted to see him in the last 4 games because he can continue. He can keep his red shirt if he plays now. And we should see him because why wouldn't we? We need to know what we have. I totally agree with you on this. I don't have a problem with Danny starting, honestly, Justin. I'm fine with it. As long as there's a new quarterback, that's what I want primarily. However, if we don't see Carter at all in the next couple of weeks, then I will be upset because we need to see what he has. And I hope that he can maybe show us something and start.
Well, and what are your thoughts? Do you get the sense that Danny's going to be back next year? Because I don't. I get the sense that he's out the door.
Listen, I think our entire QB room is going to be gone, bro.
And that there's definitely a chance of that.
That's what I think.
I'm not going to argue that at all. And that's part of the reason why I look at this. And it's like, I don't care if you piss off one of the other 2 quarterbacks by giving the reps to Carter. My perspective on this was don't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. What happens if Carter actually plays well? I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but are you going to be kicking yourself saying he should have been getting the reps all week? Or opposite side of that, what if he doesn't play well because maybe you should have given him the reps for the entire week leading up to it so that he was more comfortable? Like, these are a couple of the things that I look at it. I'm like, I don't understand why you're worried about the other 2 quarterbacks. They've both proven that they're ineffective at this level.
Given the performance level of the quarterbacks that we have, any quarterback who plays well is going to get the reps, which I'm fine with. Like, if Carter comes in there and plays well, by all means, give him the job for the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's fine. And let's see what he has. And then say, hey, listen, it's your job to lose next season. You could still bring in a transfer quarterback, but it's his job to lose at that point. I'm fine with it. I just we can't be this anemic offensively, man. Like, it's just so bad. Like, we're not a good team, but we don't need to be that poor. I mean, come on.
Well, and I want to kind of be clear with this. I'm not expecting him to go out there and be good.
You just want to see what we have.
Yeah. I'm saying that I want Carter to get all the reps that he can get because I want to see if he can be competent and go out there and look like he's not a total train wreck like the other 2 have looked. Like, I don't want to see him running 19 yards in reverse like Danny O'Neal is and getting sacked for a 15-yard loss. I don't want to see him throwing 3 picks in the first quarter like Hunter Simmons. Like, you can't tell me that he's not ready when you can actually make the argument that neither of the other 2 guys, because they're playing horrific too. And like, I get it. Like, he may not play well. I have a hard time believing he's going to play worse than that. Like,
yeah. I mean,
you would have to go out there and effectively just throw it at the other team right away.
I mean, we've seen it. Like, it's gosh.
Yeah, on a screen pass.
Let's also just say, let's also bring up the fact that Luke Fickell was asked about Billy Edwards in his weekly press conference on Monday, and he did say that, which I do want some more like pressure on him in those press conferences. I want like someone to be like, okay, but what has he done in the last few weeks? He keeps saying, I don't know if he's going to play, but if he's healthy enough, like, I'm not, by the way, I don't mean to put that on the journalist. I want Luke to be more forthcoming with it. Like, he's basically saying, if he's ready, I'm well within my right to say, yeah, let's go play. Okay, fine. But how have the last 6 weeks progressed? Is he practicing? Is he getting work in? Is he on the grass at all? Is he throwing? Like, give us more information. It sounds like, and you are led to believe that we're never going to see Billy Edwards again. And I think I'm there now. I don't think we're going to see him ever again. But like, why can't they just tell us a little bit more about that? I understand on a Monday if he doesn't know that he's ready, if he's not ready to play or not. Fine. Okay, that's fine. But over the last 6 weeks, he went out in Maryland, and then we haven't seen him or heard anything about him really. Is he improving? What's going on? Like, is he progressing? Give us anything to tell us what's happening with Billy Edwards. It's kind of driving me crazy that we're not getting anything from him on that.
The way I look at this, and when we don't get answers, and when I see the team playing this poorly, no offense, Luke Fickell, it starts to look like you don't have your fingers on the pulse of the team, and that you're a CEO coach that is not being quality control. And that to me is the one job as a CEO coach that you have. You need to make sure that all the details are taken care of. Everything is ready to go and you're ready to play. And you have not looked like that 1 week this season yet. So when I see this type of answers coming from you, it starts to look like, do you really even have a good idea what's going on with your team? Like the Heinsohn thing was something that we talked about previously. How did you not see that and say, this isn't working, Blazek, you need to get something else as a backup plan for this? You've been a coach for 20 plus years. You can't tell me you couldn't see it. I had people that were writers telling me that was an issue within the first week of him practicing.
I mean, Ryan
and these are
literally
writers. These are not.
Yeah, Ryan said that on the show during when he was at Platteville. He was like, "This is not working. this is a problem." I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. But nonetheless, Justin, we've got a game this weekend, so let's talk about it.
The Bucky Report's 3 big things.
All right, so let's talk about some keys to this game. I'm really hoping we can find a way to get this done and to compete a little bit more. But what we know, number one, is Dylan Jones is out for the year. That was confirmed by Luke Fickell. Darian Dupree doesn't appear to be out for the year. Maybe he's improving. I don't know if we're going to see him this week or not. But big thing number one is utilize the improving O-line, which has been improving, and feed Gideon Atuka, Justin. This has got to be a thing. We've got to give this guy the ball.
Yeah, I've been hemming and hawing on this a little bit because I do agree with you. In normal circumstances, I would say I want him getting as many carries as possible. I am a little concerned with that depth in that room right now because Yakimelli's dinged up too. So you effectively have Atuka and no one as a backup. So if you run him into the ground here, things are going to get real uncomfortable. You're going to suddenly have Aker being the guy that's coming in the backfield.
I mean, you're going to have to commit to the run though, because we're starting Danny O'Neal. Like, I'm not saying we have a good offensive line, but it is improving. And by the way, Jake Renfro also out for the year. That's also been confirmed. So we know that. Jeez. Like, I mean, come on.
You can just do that lather, rinse, repeat on that. That one's
bloody hell.
He is Mr. Injury Report.
Yeah, really, seriously. So, but we've got to actually run the ball a little bit more. And look, we said that after our last game. Gideon Atuka was one of the shining stars on that offense last week, 2 weeks ago. He played his butt off. He had over 4 yards of carry, I believe, over 4 yards of carry. I mean, it was he looked competent at the running back position. Mm-hmm. He ran his butt off. Let's see that again. Let's utilize the line. We got to take pressure off Danny O'Neal, Carter Smith, insert quarterback name here. We have to take pressure off them. We've got to be able to run the ball. I'm not saying we're going to be super successful at it, but if we don't try, we are completely effed. So give him the damn ball. Absolutely.
I think that's kind of the, like, if we have any prayer of running any coherent offense in this game, it's going to have to be off Atuka's back. Yeah. I don't have faith in, as much as I hope that Carter shows some things, I don't have expectations of him going out there and doing anything special. If I was going to throw a line out there for him, and this is if he was starting. If he was starting, I would probably hope that he could do something like 12 of 18 for like 135 yards and a touchdown and maybe a pick.
I mean,
I would not expect big production from him. Yeah, I would expect a lot of check down, short throws, and moving him around and getting some easy stuff. But it would not be. I would not be expecting much from the quarterback position. I don't expect much from Danny.
I agree with that. As far as defensively, Washington is allowing 3.6 yards a carry, by the way. So they're pretty solid in run defense. Even Ohio State had problems running on them a little bit, but we're going to need to do that. Number two, find ways to make Williams uncomfortable. One of the things, Damon Williams, quarterback for Washington, is an absolute dude, sophomore, dual threat guy. He's great. He's going to be really good. Very, very talented. He's got a hell of an arm and he can move. He's super athletic. This could be a problem for us, obviously. However, what we know is Mason Reiger, best player on the defense, Mason Posta, Cooper Catalano are going to continue to play because of injuries and other decisions. We're going to have some good players out there that played well against Oregon. If we can get some pressure on Williams and make him uncomfortable, setting the edge to contain him. I'm not saying we got to have a spy, but setting the edge with Reiger and with Cheeks and these guys and get some pressure, I think we could be able to confuse them a little bit or give them a little bit of problems. After all, we did frustrate Oregon, and I think we can potentially make some way in this game to frustrate Damon Williams because he's a killer, man. He's really good.
Yeah, we talked about this prior, and it's a big part of why I don't expect us to be able to win this game. He's the problem to me. He is definitely the type of quarterback that can kind of kill you slowly, by having those 3rd and 5s that he runs for 5 yards or whatever, or just is capable of making the defense who is playing well just get frustrated, because he can do the little things that a lot of quarterbacks can't. And that's going to be a problem for Wisconsin if they can't keep him in check. He is absolutely capable of just carving us up, and we need to be very careful with that.
He has thrown for over 2,000 yards, 73% completion percentage. Oh, and by the way, has 89 rushes for 429 yards, 4.8 yards per carry rushing the football, and 4 rushing touchdowns, by the way, 14 passing. So listen, Jonah Coleman, their running back, kind of an all-purpose Swiss Army knife guy, has almost 1,000 scrimmage yards, 1,000-yard scrimmage, and he's mainly a running back, but he also has 27 catches for nearly 350 yards. Like the guy, nearly 400 yards. Yeah, something like that. He's great. He's a weapon, and we're going to have to find ways to stop them. This is going to be difficult, right? This is a really good offense, and that's not easy to do, but make him uncomfortable. Number 3, Justin, take this one. The future is now. What do you want to talk about here?
Yeah, we just talked about it with Carter. Like, you got to get these young guys in now, because I don't want to hear any more about, well, it does a disservice to the upperclassmen if we don't try to win. There are plenty of guys that are underperforming at positions that I don't see how you can say that bringing in a younger guy and finding out what you have is a downgrade. Like, you have guys that aren't making plays as it is. What's the worst case scenario here? That somebody actually does something positive? It's not like the defense has been lights out. It's not like the offense has been like, this is another thing. Hilton needs to get out there and play more.
Who do you want to see that you haven't? Who are you thinking about that you want to see that you haven't seen?
Well, I mean, Carter. You
mentioned Carter already, obviously.
I think Hilton needs to play a lot more in this game. I think I would like to see Steck get out there a little bit more. Okay. Like, I want to see these young guys get out there and get production and find out what we have in them.
Nick Clayton?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see him get out there for 25 reps in this game and be able to just prove. By now, he should be versed enough. He should be competent enough in your defense that you should be pretty comfortable with him being out there. It's not like I get it. He's not a huge kid. He's bigger than Herbig was, and he played as a true freshman and played a lot.
And wreaked havoc against my Indianapolis Colts this weekend. Nick Herbig did, and TJ Watt and Keanu Benton, silly Wisconsin Steelers. Yeah, listen, I don't disagree with anything you said there. I mean, I think that I would love to see Eugene Hilton play as well, more than he has, because he was a starter last week, which is good. But yeah, we've definitely got to see more of them. Nick Clayton would be great. I like the Grant Steck call. I think that's a good one. Let's put some guys out there. Potentially, Scanes, other players that can get some
playing. Yeah. I think now you're getting later in the season. Maybe you have some of the other young corners, if you feel like they're getting close, to get them some reps. You have nothing you're truly playing for this year. Like, I'm kind of like, we can go forward. Bowl eligibility goes out the window, and thankfully at that point you can just be like, all right, now that pressure's gone, you if you're going to be given another year, you damn well better come in with your feet on the ground running to be ready to play next year, because I don't give a crap how young the guys are. If they're not ready, it's because you didn't get them ready.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of this crap, because we have seen bad subpar football for far too long, and you've had more than enough time to get this stuff ready to go. This is a failure on your part. And if you're getting shoved down our throat because our athletic department can't get their head out of their butt and run it like a real professional athletic department,
oh boy,
then you better be able to maximize whatever you're capable of next year.
Was Spicy Justin on your guys' bingo cards today? Because that's what we got. Spicy Justin. I have a feeling I know what your answer to the next question is going to be.
The Bucky Report predictions.
3:30 Central Time, slightly odd starting time. 3:30 Central Time. Washington 6-2, 3-2 in conference, 23rd in the newest college football rankings. They are yet another ranked team that the Badgers will play. Justin, what's your score prediction?
Yeah, I made my prediction in the Discord already, and I told you and Ryan earlier, I predict 27-10 Washington. I don't see the offense being significantly better than it's been. And I think that Damon Williams is capable of making enough plays to get them to make us uncomfortable and cause problems.
The key to one of the other big keys, we didn't really touch on this, was just limiting their explosives, right? That's a big thing. We have to limit Washington's explosive plays. Jonah Coleman and Damon Williams, they can hit home runs on every play. Boston, their wide receiver, 44 catches. Like, they've got a lot of athletes on that team. I do think that our defense found a little something in Oregon and the young guys, which I think is great. And I think that there's a little bit of confidence growing in that group, and confidence is critical to how you play. So I think we hold them to 23, and I think we score 13. We're going to lose, but I think we are going to cover the spread, which, by the way, is 11.5. It's not one of my Saturday locks because no chance, because our offense is not that good. But ultimately, it's the new quarterback push I'm hoping for. I think can be a little bit of energy in the offense. And, like, now we know that for 2 weeks, I'm sure they've been planning to play, whether it's O'Neal or Smith or whatever, like, give him time. There's a lot of reps. Like, I think we're finally going to see a little bit of improvement offensively. We are at home. Not that that's much of an advantage these days because we're giving the fans nothing to cheer about. But 23-13 is my final, and I think we cover. But I mean, it really would be good to get a win, though. I really wanted to. I even texted Justin and Ryan today, and I was like, "Is it just me, or could we maybe win this game?" And they were both like, "No, we're not winning this game." And I agree. There's
been nothing this team has shown us that makes it believable that they, like, competitive would be a start.
Yeah. I know it's really bad, but. There's that. So 27-10 from Justin, 23-13 from me. Check out Saturday Locks, which is actually be dropping earlier this week. If you're into that stuff, it's going to be coming out Thursday mornings from now on. I'm going to record it tonight and do that. Go subscribe to that show. We will be back again on Sunday to talk about Washington, to talk about next week, hopefully to talk about some new quarterback play that was effective. And maybe, just maybe, we can find a way to win a Big Ten game. Thanks for joining us, and as always, on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Bucky Report or The Bucky Report Podcast from wherever you get your content. Until next time, on Wisconsin.